All right, welcome back, my brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix our bad boy together, bad boy being the country, of course, and this is the updates that you need to know because the Democrats are actually doing a lot of really interesting things in the wake of the whole list, Trump, Bondi, Bongino thing. This is important because now is where it comes to a full head of what we've been talking about the entire time. The political ramifications on what it's going to do for our movement, for what we're trying to do, for our steps. So, as you guys get in here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We're spreading that freedom out, and we would love to have you along for the ride. And make sure you follow me at Braden LOA on X. All right, guys, as you get in here, make sure you've got audio and video 5x5 over here in the chat. And once you do, and we get in here, we're going to kind of start ripping through a few of the updates that you need to know and what the left is up to. But I'm going to start off with a little bit of a monologue real quick. I did a short this morning where it basically, the whole premise was the left actually thinks that you just don't care anymore. It is genuinely comical. They are out here, and I'm going to show you in a lot of the following posts right here. They are out here saying that, oh my God, they have won this whole thing with the list, with Trump, with Bongino, with Bondi. You guys don't love your country anymore. You clearly don't want to fix it. You don't want to pull back all the tyrannical control, and you definitely don't want to cut back on spending. You definitely don't like secure borders. It's obvious you guys have completely seen the light because MAGA's dead, and conservatism is dead, and Republicans are dead, and patriots are dead. Guys, literally, they are so far out over their skis right now, thinking that they finally have the magic bullet to kill the vampire. They don't. And here's the thing, and as you guys are getting in here, make sure 5x5, excellent, good stuff. As you guys are getting in here, understand this. I said this in my short this morning. The things that we focus on in our ideals, it's not housed in one individual body, right? It's not housed in me. It's not housed in you. It's a series of principles and beliefs. That's why we're stronger and they can't beat us. But because they think that all of a sudden, magically, everything is gone. It is a toast. It is finito. They finally won and everyone's going to be a socialist now is comical. But that's what we're going to talk about as we get in here. All right. Let me just jump in real quick. And guys, please send this one out. It looks like the notifications are yet again failing. All right. This one. This is a leftist propaganda account. Brian Krasenstein. I cover this all the time. Don't make fun of people who leave a cult. Embrace them and praise them. They're actually thinking that they're going to make a play and make you a socialist. Or a far left liberal. Or a Brian Krasenstein. I mean, look at the post that he's reposting. Be kind. Many people left a cult today and began deprogramming for the first time. Because you're too stupid. You're too idiotic. You can't figure out what you want to do with your life. You don't really love your country and you don't want all those things for your country. And for the next generation, you were just bamboozled, hoodwinked, lied to. Yeah, they actually believe this crap. But let's continue because I got a lot of stuff for you. This one right here, this one boggles my mind. 5x5, Shane says no notification. Yeah, I can tell the numbers in this live launch right now are indicative that there was no notification sent out. But thank you guys for all being here. All right, so you can get around that, by the way, by sharing this out on all your profiles. So this is an honest to God clip that happened today. The woman that I'm about to show you, her name is Neera Tanden. Now, you may not know that name, but the irony of this is stunning because Neera Tanden is one of the people inside the Biden White House that was involved in the AutoPin scandal where Biden was non-sentient and they were just copying everything and putting his signature and a copy of his signature on everything. You know, while he was like eating ice cream. Yeah, she's about to tell you how bad and dark this is. Watch this. This is crazy town. Here we go.
I mean, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, went to the public and said all kinds of things about this. She said there was a list, there was files, they had people, that was in front of the White House, in front of the West Wing that they had the influencers out there. So, I mean, there's a very legitimate question here. Number one, Was she lying then, or is she lying now? She's the attorney general. I do think she should go in front of Congress and sort of just explain the facts here, because ultimately it is a big question. Was she just prancing around making things up? You're not really supposed to do that as the attorney general. And then second of all, I just say, you know, everyone's acting like they don't know what the conspiracy theory is. The conspiracy theory is that the client list has Donald Trump on it, and that's what his government is holding it back. And I think we need to have people honestly answer questions in front of Congress or the press to just have this out once and for all.
And the overall.
All right, listen, guys, you cannot, we're going to go through all of what you just said, but you can't make this stuff up. This woman that you just saw say what she just said about going in front of Congress and getting to the bottom and subtly introducing a conspiracy theory, which I'm going to address in 1 second. She literally last week was in front of Congress in the Judiciary Committee with Chair, I think it was Comer, literally about the auto pin scandal with Biden in the White House because she was one of the people using it. I'm going to be polite. But this witch, please, you're going to sit here and lecture everybody about how amazingly, what's the best word? So observant and poised that you are about being in the know. Oh, yeah, you're in the know about conspiracies, all right, Cupcake. All right, got that piece out of the way. Second piece, by the way, ABC totally platformed it. The second piece here. Donald Trump is on these evil Epstein files. The files that don't exist, that do exist, that Obama made, that Hillary didn't make, that AG Pondy, blah, 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 blah. You know, those files. Do you honestly think, and this is just I could be proven wrong, I could be proven right. I'm not here to be wrong or right about this individual piece. What I'm just going to tell you, hypothetically, do you really believe after 3 years of full-on lawfare, full-on convictions of all the financial consequences, all this accusation, everything, that they had this waiting in the wings the whole time, and he's guilty, easy, duh. We're just not going to use the one thing that would do it, but we're going to make you manufacture everything else. Listen, I don't know. I'm not involved in the process, but I find that a little hard to believe. But it was a cute little introduction of a conspiracy theory, so it gets out in the mainline media. This is what they're doing. Again, this woman is the person who literally was part of the autopin scandal for Biden. Anyway, let's keep on going. This one is an interesting one because I've got to talk to you about Paulina Luna. She's emerging as one of the leaders of the Republican Party, and she says something interesting, and I think she nails it pretty solidly. I want to play this clip of her today. This was at Turning Point USA's little conference. She does a fantastic, I think, summation of why people are angry. I mean, I've told you from the very beginning on this, it comes down to trust. It's that simple. I even did a post. I'll show you in a second. Actually, I'll show you now. The post that I did today with a poll, 96% of you identified that the problem was the lack of accountability, the thirst of accountability was desired, and then it came down to trust. Every single person almost identified with that concept. But she's about to do the same thing, which is really solid. Let me get into this real quick.
The biggest thing on everybody's mind this week has, of course, been the Epstein files. Give us your viewpoint on this in terms of where we go next from here.
The biggest way to restore trust is through transparency, and so I've actually gone on record saying that as a part of the task force, we're going to be requesting the release of information. Obviously, again, we don't want CSAM or victim information, but for the American people to decide. I think that part of the reason why people are so upset is because of the back and forth and conflicting information that's really come out of the Department of Justice from the get-go.
Absolutely, and my next question, too, is surrounding the...
I'm just going to pause that for a second before we get to the next question. She nails it. That's the problem. The problem is literally the conflicting information you're getting from the Department of Justice. That's why we said on this channel, the second that this started to pop up, I said this needs to be resolved quickly because there are two different stories and it reflects very poorly on the DOJ and the AG in this case. You can check the tape. A lot of you guys were there. That's what we immediately said on this, and it all was down to trust. Set it, post it, done. Paulina Luna also just goes down this road. Now, she has some political instincts, which I really like to see, because she's getting in front of this and she's calling for all this stuff to happen out of Congress. Do you know why she's doing that? Because on the backside, the Democrats, I'm about to show you the tabs, they're trying to do it first. It's going to be a race to who can be the right one to do it. All right? let's keep on going into this, and then we'll keep on hitting it.
The big division in MAGA right now. A lot of people are extremely upset with the DOJ. You came forward with that really great solution of, requesting those files, asking for full transparency. But a lot of people are stating that they don't feel like they're really going to get that. So what's your response?
I would say that clearly, if you're looking at historically the information that's already out there, like I think the Daily Mail actually did a pretty good article saying like, look, there's a lot of passports and bags of diamonds, like all very odd things to keep in your home safe. I think once you have some information come out that can provide, again, more transparency on it, and then I think that the DOJ should probably do a press conference. Again, also, too, the reason why there's a lot of this division is, you have a minute missing in the footage. They're saying that they're trying to locate that. The rollout has been not so good. And so what I would say is that there needs to be something to address those issues out ahead. But again, I think that there are also a lot of people getting drawn into this that...
All right. This is why I say she has very good political instincts, because she just sided with a lot of common sense. She sided and recognized a whole lot of people's feelings on it. And then she threw some recommendations out there of what needs to be fixed without being too aggressive towards it. The rollout has been not the smoothest. Yep. Well, you know what? Yeah, you could say that. Then she says the DOJ needs to do a press conference. They haven't done one in 7 days. This is what's fueling this entire thing, right? Luna is going to start saying something in a second about requesting files, and it's leading into the next part of which I'm going to tell you, and this is why I cover this, because when you look at our broad-based mission of what we're trying to accomplish, of which this is interrupting that, you look at what the Democrats and opponents are going to do to try to stall you, and that's what we're going to watch. Here, let me wrap this up with Luna real quick, and then we'll go to that.
Frankly, don't have the ability to authorize the release. So remember, everything pertaining to Epstein is specifically under the purview of the Department of Justice, not the FBI, not the deputy director of the FBI, not the press secretary. It's literally under the DOJ. And so I'm curious. I've been obviously inquiring on this for a while. You've seen the tweet. There's like literally tweet records of the amount of times I reached out and really wasn't given a response. So what I would say is that until that really happens, I don't know that people are going to be satisfied with anything, because I think that that's one of the things that, unfortunately a lot of people said that they campaign on these issues. And so that's why we're in this position.
Like I said, very smart, very eloquent, very confident, and she's saying the truth. A lot of people advertise, a lot of people ran on this topic. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, fine. That's their topic. That's their thing. The other thing is the DOJ has got to get out in front of this, and the way that it's being approached right now is clearly not working. Objectively, I want this to work and be fixed. I'm just telling you, objectively, it's not. All right, let's go into this again. I want to show you what the left thinks. This is where we start to get into the left a little bit. This is a left account, whatever. This is just the trolling left. I don't care about what they say, but it is indicative of their mindset. MAGA is finished. Okay, well, what? An entire philosophy of loving your country is finished? Are the Republicans finished too? Are the conservatives finished? Are the evangelicals finished? This is all just wishful thinking. Again, the same thing about don't be mean to people who are. I gotta shut that down. I gotta get pinged on that one. Don't be mean to people who are coming out of a cult. It's idiotic. But here you go. This is what I was talking about. This is what Anna Paulina Luna was referencing. Breaking. Democrat House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jamie Raskin calls for a hearing to subpoena Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino to publicly release all information they have on the Jeffrey Epstein files. And this is where you're going to hear this first, and you're definitely not going to hear it anywhere else in the gun world. Their plan, and this is the part of the title that says Dems think they have us, and here's the next steps. Their plan is they're going to ride this and ride this and ride this until it goes into the midterms. And then they're going to try to make it affect the Republicans in the midterms, lose the House. Then they think they're going to lose or win the House and then do nothing but impeachments for a year and a half until a new president comes in. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. They want to get them in front of all Congress. They want the clips of Pam Bondi explaining it, Kash Patel explaining it, Dan Bongino explaining it, and they want to run those clips and run for 12 to 15 months. That's what they're looking for. But the problem is, and this is where I get down to, again, the main core of the issue, it resolves down to trust. If the trust had not been questioned or questions had not arisen, this wouldn't even be a viable option. Okay? Look what Harry Sisson said. This is a lefty propagandist. Love this. Democratic Representative Ro Khanna will be introducing an amendment to force a vote demanding the full release of the Epstein files. Let's see if these MAGA Republicans in Congress will defend Trump's refusal to release the files on record. See what they're doing? What they're going to do is I'm going to put forward a vote and I'm going to make all the Republicans go on the vote. And then I'm going to make Speaker Johnson call the vote to the floor. So if Speaker Johnson doesn't call the vote to the floor, well, then we can run around from the Democrat angle and say that the Republicans don't want the Epstein files released. So because if they did, they would have put it to a floor vote. And then if he puts it to a floor vote, then simply they're going to vote it down and they're going to go, see, Republicans wanted to vote it down. This is the angle that they're going to go. Then they're going to have Raskin doing the subpoenas. You're going to see Ro Khanna doing this on the floor. This is why I was saying earlier on, you have to freaking get in front of this and you have to just come out and talk to people. Here's the last one I'm going to show you. JoJo from Jers. This is a far left, very foul-mouthed woman on the left. The cult is now burning their MAGA hats. Is this the part where I'm supposed to cry harder or not? Well, Cupcake, he's still president for 3 more years. So. If you're a fan of Friends, you get that reference. But again, this is where it boils down to, guys, right here. This is what the whole stance is about. No matter what happens, people in this country have a thirst for accountability and a thirst to stop being lied to. And I'm not saying Trump is doing it or any one person's doing it. I'm saying in general, the feeling of not being able to believe your government or not being able to believe what people are telling you is getting to a point where it's just nauseating. And I feel that across the spectrum. Don't lie to me. I don't like when you lie to me. I'm fairly intelligent. I can usually tell when you're lying to me. On top of that, I can just always figure out through all the research that we do and all this channel, I can tell you if you're lying or you're telling the truth. And that's why I reference everything and source everything in the comments below. But that's what they're doing, guys. You're literally watching all the far left acolytes line up and think that they're going to pin the Republicans in a corner. And by the way, I don't know if you noticed, Republicans aren't the strongest spined individuals in the room. But this is where we're going on this. And as I saw a few things in the chat I want to hit on really quickly. It's finished. That's funny. Right, Sarita. Sarita is laughing as well. That's not. No notification. Yeah, that's very true. It's very clear there's not going to be notifications apparently all week. Some dude says Trump's ego is going to kick him in the butt on this. I mean, time will tell. I guarantee you they're doing polling across the board. And for the left to react this way and the right to react this way, I have a funny feeling it's a very, very potent topic. I think a lot of MAGA people simply won't vote, says Irish Rover in Florida. I honestly don't know. She's goofier than goofy. Yeah, you guys are your chats overall are pretty much showing the same thing. Just put the data out. This is a 90% issue. Nate SP, I assume you mean that there's more data that was just released that you're referencing. I assume that's what you're talking about. If it's a 90% issue, it's a very big problem. Shane says this is just going to be a dark stain on the Trump administration. Guy Actual gets it. MAGA, or Make America Great Again, or conservative, or patriot, or living for your country, whatever you want to phrase it, is a belief, not a political system. While one side may have promoted it, it's something that every patriotic American wants. Right? That's the whole point. That is exactly the whole point. Watch out, YouTube's hacking compliments. That's funny. So, yeah, guys, that's kind of what I've got for you right now. I wanted to drop this for you really quickly. In conclusion on this comes down in very, very simple. It's trust versus feeling of trust versus perception of trust versus actual trust. That's where this is. And when you get into the point of Bondi, which to me is the one that's the hardest one to defend, because you're talking about someone who was clearly on camera, clearly referring to referencing tapes, referring to evidence, referring to all these things, truckloads, blah, 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 all of it. And then she's also the one that authorized that nothing's happening. That's where the breakdown happened. And when you have that level of questionability, it opens up things for what I just showed you, for the Democrats to try to make hay out of it, which affects our overall drive to get things done that we need to get done, because the midterms are coming, and you're going to hear about this a lot more because Democrats are not going to let it go. But I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Those of you that got notified, you count your lucky stars, go buy a lottery ticket, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.